Hey everybody, welcome back to the Old Swedes Farm. It's Rich. It's almost 100 degrees. A late August heat spell here. We've got about 100 degrees and a pretty good breeze going through here. Hopefully the wind is not distracting you. Had a couple questions about when we combine our flocks. As you know, we had a bunch of young ladies this year that we've raised from chicks, and then we've got our older flock. Now we've paired both of those flocks down. Right now we've got about, what have we got? 15 bigs. We're down to 15. And we've got 8 of the smalls, 8 of our littles. A week ago, when they were 12 weeks, we combined flocks. As you remember, here's the coop, the outdoor coop where the littles have been hanging out. And last you saw there was a big fence around it to kind of keep them in. Well, you know what, you can only keep them in so long, and they were learning to fly out, so they were getting out anyways and running around. Let me swing you around. And that's where the old ladies hang out, in the barn. So and they've got free range of the whole place all the time. The only thing that's fenced right now is an area that they had dug up, and I'm trying to get grass reestablished there. So you can see some of the bigs are out. Here's the littles. There's 8 of them, and they're kind of hanging out to themselves right now, sitting underneath the tank. I think that tank, since it's full of fuel, is a little cooler than the surrounding air. So last week we combined the girls. We combined flocks, and it's been a success. The only thing, let me tell you the pluses and minuses here. The plus, they get along. We can open up the little coop. In the morning all I got to do is show up at the little coop, open the door, the littles are out. Go over to the barn, open the big door, or wait till the automatic door opener opens it, and then the bigs are out. And they can free range together all day. The first couple days, there wasn't a lot of togetherness. The littles, I mean, they were scared. They're approaching probably 2/3 the size of the bigs, and they still, they were intimidated. So they hung to themselves. The bigs just went about their business. The only thing they did is they wanted to go into the little girl's coop and eat their food, which is a no-no. They need their layer feed. The only difference between the girls right now, the bigs have got their layer feed, and the littles are still on chick food until the chick, whatever it is, their starter feed. They're on that until somewhere between 16 and 18 weeks, then we're going to transition them over. So the only bad thing so far was that the first few days the bigs wanted to go in and eat the little girl's food, which is a no-no because they need the right protein mix to make sure that they're laying. So that was the bad thing. Now we're a week later. I open the door in the morning, bigs come out, littles come out. They all kind of run around over here into our front yard. There's a little basin of water. They all kind of congregate by that in the morning, and then they're off on their day, and they combine forces for the morning. They'll run underneath the evergreens and over there and kind of search and scratch and hang out. The one good thing is no one has run across the road, so I'm thankful for that. Now that it's evening, everybody's starting to kind of break up a little bit. The littles, like I showed, were over by the tank. They're still sitting by the base of that tank. And the bigs are all over here. Now what they're doing is they're getting their last little free ranging done, and then they're gonna head into the barn. So they're starting their process of getting closer and closer to the barn. When we have brought treats out, the bigs do exert the pecking order. They do let the littles know that they will get their turn, but they're not first in line. So they get a little peck here and there. They get a little look, a little shoulder shrug to let the littles know that they're not top of the heap. Other than that, you know, a little bit of pecking order stuff, they have gotten along really well. Now they're comparable in size. In fact, I'll tell you, there's been a couple times we've thrown out treats. We found some tomatoes that are still a little beat up from the storm, and threw the tomatoes out, and I saw a couple of the littles grab the tomatoes from the bigs, literally from their beak, and run away. So they've been holding their own. At night, everybody knows where to go. The bigs are heading over to the barn. The littles are heading inside. They're heading inside and coming up and going in the coop, and we lock them in at night. So everything's been working really good. The only thing I'll tell you is just the food thing. You know, people are saying, when do you do it? When do you when do you combine groups? You know what? It all depends on your breeds. My advice is wait till they're, I don't know, 2/3 size. They don't need to be exactly the same size, but wait for them to be 2/3 the size or so that there's not a big size difference, and the pecking can be really severe. Make sure that there's a big enough free range area where they can get away from each other should there be an issue between the groups. Right now, if the littles don't like it, they do pack up. There's 8 of them. They'll head as a pack, and they'll head under the evergreens over here. They'll head into the woods as a group. They'll head out front under one of the evergreens there. They have an escape route at all times, but it's always as a pack. There are 2, one of the barred rocks and one of the Isa Browns seems to be a little more, they're a little more grown up. They're a little more, they don't care about danger. They jump right into it, so they're a little more adventurous. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. The other 6, they hang out together all the time. So when do you combine flocks? When they're similar in size, similar maturity, and that's going to depend on the breed. So know your breed, know how big they're going to get, know the group that they're going to combine with, and do it accordingly. Like I said, the only issue we've got is food. So make sure you know where the big's food is, where the little's food is, and you can kind of guard it a little bit. Otherwise, I think your bigs could chow down on the little's food and leave them without anything, and they're probably eating the wrong food for what you want for laying. So a long-winded explanation, but I think it serves well. It's been very successful this time around, combining our flock. So combined at 12 weeks for barred rock, little immature barred rock and Isa Brown, and combining them with, oh my gosh, we've got about 4 or 5 breeds. So anyways, here's our girls. You can see everybody separated. You know, the bigs are over there doing their thing and getting ready for to head in for the night, and the littles are doing the same. They're hanging around a place where they can jump in for safety underneath the evergreens. So thanks to everybody that asked the question. It was something I guess we just kind of have done, and I hadn't filmed it. So thanks for the question. If you got a question about the hens or anything, drop us a note. If you've combined at a different time or had different experiences, let us know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well. Thanks for listening and watching my long rambling video here. Everybody take care. Bye.